Hello, sir. Let us start.
Okay, good morning to all of you.
Hello.
Sai
Prasad.
Yes,
Please.
sir. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning,
Good morning to all of you. Today, Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor Professor G. Singhaya, Northeastern Hill University, Tura campus, and keynote speaker Professor Jayu Ahmad, esteemed Professor Jayu Ahmad, Department Management, New Tura campus, our former head of the department, and esteemed guest Dr. A.C. Subudhi, Joint Registrar in charge, Associate Professor, Department of Education, Northeastern Hill University, Tura campus, and esteemed our another resource person, Dr. Sushil Kumar Patnaik, Chief Editor, Journal of Business Management, Commerce and Research, Odisha, and also Director of the Research Forum India, New Delhi, and Dr. Rao, Assistant Professor, Department Management, New Tura campus, and Dr. V. Sai Prasad, Associate Professor, Avanti School of Management, Bhaijak, Andhra Pradesh, and all colleague my department, Dr. Bhattacharji, Dr. Rao, Dr. Sunil, Dr. Sultana, Dr. Devanath, Dr. KD Sikh, and Dr. that is Sunil, and all colleague my department, and all colleague my other department, NEHU and other university and colleges, my dear research scholars, MBA students, 4 semesters, first semester and second semester, all participants from other universities, and ladies and gentlemen, very, very good morning to all of you, and also welcome to our program. Today, our topic is to think the challenge on research. Think the challenge on research. So what are the challenges will come on our research? There are different challenges. For example, the broad challenges, the financial challenges, infrastructure challenges. But as a research scholar, then specifically you will meet some challenges. That is a challenge on a topic. First thing, either you will take a finance area, or a marketing area, or HR area, entrepreneurship area, a tourism area. This is your challenge. For example, in a finance area, either institutional finance, the corporate finance, the financial services, the banking and insurance, the stock market, the NSI, the BSI, the money market, the financial inclusion, the microfinance, the agriculture finance, the cash management, the liquidity management, the any other things. This is a very now challenge for the student. Those are a new research scholar. Then another challenge is after taking the subject, the objective, hypothesis, data collection, research methodology, tools and technique, and a questionnaire and interpretation. Then when you are going to interpretation, there are you will take so many techniques. That is about data. That is research design, qualitative, quantitative research, measurement of scale, descriptive statistics, data entry, data managing, creating graphs, and different parametric tests. That is a t-test or independent dependent t-test, ki ANOVA, the repeated measure of ANOVA, the non-parametric test, the Kruskal-Wallis test, ki either chi-square test. Similarly, also your regression, multiple regression, logistic regression, discriminant analysis, and testing of that is the exploratory test, factor analysis, cluster analysis. So many techniques. This is also challenge, just like a ocean. Suppose which technique will apply your research. This is also very big challenge for the every research scholar. Then this type of challenge will face in the future as a research scholar. Similarly, our esteemed research person, they will describe about the present challenges of the research. For example, today the pandemic, the COVID-19. So either I don't know this pandemic is a natural or artificial. So this is also challenge for research. Suppose if it's natural, then how the COVID-19 is happening. Suppose if artificial, how the happening. Suppose somebody is saying that is the second wave, first wave, third wave, then how they are knowing this. This is also challenge for the research. So similarly, then as a research scholar, either social science research, as a science research, as a medical research, and every research, the topic challenges, objective challenges, your hypothesis challenges, and also interpretation challenges. This is my side. Okay, thank you. Also, participation to all participants, and also welcome to our programs, and welcome all esteemed guests and all participants to our program. Then also I also welcome to Dr. Surya S.K. Patnaik, that is Research Forum India, that is in New Delhi, and just arranging this type of program with our NEHU Management Department. Also, I welcome the Pro-Vice Chancellor NEHU, Professor G. Singaya, also our former HOD, Dr. Professor J. Ahmed, and also Dr. C. Subodhi, our joint Deputy Registrar in charge, and Associate Professor, Department of Education, NEHU Shillong, and Dr. Sai Prasad, Avanti College, Associate Professor, that is Andhra Pradesh, and Dr. Rao, my all colleagues, and all research scholars, and all participants, welcome once again. Okay, sir. Thank you. And I hand over to the Dr. Sai Prasad.
Yeah. Good morning, all. I, on behalf of the Research Forum India, which is an online media forum for global integrated research, constituted with some of the renowned and learned academicians and research of the globe. The ultimate objective of this is to train for integrated values of wellness with a unique value for engineering management system in the globe. Presently, we have an opportunity to have an accession and association with Tura campus, Shillong, the Department of Management Studies, and holding an international webinar in the presence of Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor Professor Singaya, other professors, Associate Head of the Departments, Biswal Sir, Mohammed Sir, and Deputy Registrar Subri Sir. So now right now we have renowned academician and researcher Dr. Sushil Kumar Patnaik, who have explored the value of research integrated in their wellness. Now I request Sushil Kumar Sir to give an introduction.
No, I request Professor Kailash Biswal to introduce your guest. Professor Biswal.
Our Pro Vice Chancellor Professor G. Singaya, NEHU Tura campus. Welcome, sir. And keynote speaker Professor J. Ahmed. Welcome, sir, to our program. And Dr. Sai Prasad and Dr. Sushil Kumar Patnaik, the Director, Research Forum India, New Delhi. Welcome, sir. Also, Dr. Rao and all my research scholars, all students, friends, and all participants from outside. Dr. S.C. Subodhi, Joint Registrar, Deputy Registrar in charge, NEHU Tura campus. Welcome, sir. This is our guest. And welcome the all participants and students. Okay, thank you. Hand over to Dr. Sai Prasad.
No, you request to Professor J. Ahmed. Kailash sir.
Okay, sir. Okay, I invite the Professor J. Ahmed give the keynote speaker today program, sir. Welcome, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. I hope I am audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor of our campus, who is not yet present, it seems he is engaged in some other meeting, will be attending. Distinguished resource persons, Dr. S.C. Subodhi, Deputy Registrar of NEHU Tura campus and Associate Professor, Department of Education. Along with him, our distinguished resource person, Dr. Sushil K. Patnaik, the Chief Editor of the Journal of Business Management, Commerce and Research. We have our Head of the Department, Professor K.C. Biswal, Moderator, Dr. B. Sai Prasad, all my colleagues.
Good morning, sir.
All my friends, research scholars, and the students present in this international webinar on the challenges of research.
అలాగే అలాగే నేను
as organized by the Department of Management, Northeastern Hill University, in association with the Research Forum, India. The topic, I welcome each one of you in this international webinar on behalf of the Department of Management, Nehutura campus, and also on behalf of the Research Forum. The topic selected for this webinar is very much relevant to me, the challenges on research. And this particular topic need to be discussed and debated to provoke the young scholars, particularly.
100 రూపాయలు ఫైన్ లెక్క 1050 పంపించమనండి.
Dr. Sai, can you just unmute your mic?
రిక్వెస్ట్ చేద్దామని 1060
Not unmute, mute.
Mute, yeah. Dr. Sai, please unmute, mute your mic. Okay, so while we talk about this particular challenges of research, as Professor Biswal, our dynamic HOD, has highlighted many of the problems external and regarding the internalization of the problem by the researcher. He has mentioned in his introduction. I will just speak a few things, only 10-15 minutes from my memory, and I have a little slide. Let me just share the screen.
Yes, sharing your.
Can I share? Dr. Sai?
Yes, sir. You can share, sir. Sir is giving you the sharing.
Yeah, please.
What are the share the. Huh?
I think it is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here there is no much, slide and all, just a few things. The topic, as I mentioned, that I feel it is very much topical for the young researcher as well as for the prominent researcher, because most of us used to do research without provoking our mindset and without internalizing the whole idea to work in a particular topic. And therefore, unless we internalize the process of research, internalize right from beginning, right from selecting a doable topic to till finding, we will not really get the real enjoyment in research. So while we talk about this one thing, and with the topic, what I understand is that thinking is very important. Provoking the thought process is very essential for a researcher, and a good research is a thinking person's game. There is no doubt, because we play many type of game, and it is not game for everybody. Everybody cannot do a research. Even if somebody do for the sake of getting a degree or for the sake of name and fame and all, that is okay. But then research, basically a good piece of research is a thinking person's game. It is a creative and strategic process that involves constantly assessing, reassessing, and making decisions about the best possible means for obtaining trustworthy information, carrying out appropriate analysis, and drawing some credible conclusions. As far as the challenges is concerned, as Professor Biswal highlighted many challenges, he covered from finance, infrastructure, many things. I will not touch on this aspect. I will just try to deliver based on the thought process of the scholar, or provoking the thought process of the scholar, what challenges a researcher or a project writer normally face. The lack of motivation is the major challenges. Some of them here listed. I will not, explain all this. Lack of self-confidence among the researcher, lack of focus. It is very essential. Improper direction and lack of focus is another very important challenges. And that normally we stuck in the comfort zone while doing the research. And in research, we cannot always based on our comfort zone. We have to go beyond. Proper time management, lack of proper experience and skill, fear of failure, etc. are the major challenges of research in the line of particularly the thought process. In addition to this, as I mentioned that right from the very beginning, right from the starting or genesis of very idea of a particular, to work on a particular topic or a doable topic, starting from the literature review, the methodological challenges, etc., till the drawing the final conclusion, a researcher face many challenges, and all the challenges comes because of the proper non-nourishment of the entire process of research. Lack of experience and skill, etc., is liable for undergoing a correct or very right way of research. Now, to overcome this particular challenges that we face, we have some of the capabilities we need. The core capabilities is that to commit, relate, and engage the empowerment, motivation, confidence, and management of relationships, to carry out technical, service quality, service delivery, and logistical tasks, core functions directed to the implementation of mandated goals, and to attract the resources and support, resource mobilization, networking, legitimacy building, to adopt and self-renew, learning, strategizing, adoption, managing change, to balance coherence and diversity, like encourage innovation, stability, manage complexity, balance capability mix, etc. So these are the, I have given some tips, and then we need to do some sort of research. We shall have some sort of, here everything covered. We need to encourage the motivation. Normally what happened, we innovation and all we do not see. We supervisor used to guide the scholars, and we rely on a particular methodology that we have carried out our research work, which is a wrong concept. Some of we have done in the statistical technique, some of we have done mathematical technique, and we rely on that. So we shall understand that we have to encourage. Nothing is unique in this world. And if somebody come forward with some suitable technique based on the research work, based on the nature of research, one need to encourage. So likewise, means the core capabilities of the young scholars need to be nurtured in order to meet the challenges in research. As far as the, and for that, capacity building to provoke the thought process of the scholar is very important. And for capacity building the capacity, this is the major elements: external contents, context, and stakeholder capacity as displayed in this particular slide, capabilities and resources, performance, change and adoption, interrelationship of this entire process resulted a suitable or practical, drawing a practical proposition of the research. So the approach we can build up like this for capacity building. Once the proper capacity building happens in research, perhaps this particular challenge, particularly while we talk about the theme, that will automatically root out. So capacity assessment, strategic plan, strategies, strategize and plan, implementation and monitoring evaluation, and this entire process will continue in the research right from beginning to end at any stage, maybe in the problem identification of the problem there itself, maybe reviewing of literature itself, maybe the drawing an appropriate conclusion itself. So this entire, capacity building, and in order to meet the challenges, what need to be done is developing some sort of critical thinking in the minds of the scholars, and that it is an essential for drawing the practical and rational outcome in research. And critical thinking means making clear and reasoned judgments. You may use very sophisticated technique, but if the scholar will not really make clear his viewpoint and will not give some reasoned judgments in the conclusion itself or in the findings itself, then entire motto of doing a research will go in vain. Now, critical thinking calls for the ability to, these are the few points: recognize the problem to find workable means, recognize unstated assumptions and values, comprehend and use of languages, recognize and the existence or non-existence of logical relationships, draw warranted conclusions and generalizations, put to test the conclusions and generalizations at which one arrives, reconstructs one patterns of belief on the basis of wider experience, render accurate judgment about specific things and qualities in everyday life. So we need to build the critical thinking, and it is the process I partly mentioned, learning process of internalization. Unless we work for the internalization, the process of doing a research, PhD, project, whatever, the motto or the interest, the purpose, basic purpose will not be served. In the construction of basic ideas, principles, theories inherent in content, and critical thinking is significant in the learning process of application, whereby those ideas, principles, and theories are implemented effectively as they become relevant in learners' lives. And so these are the a few important things I have covered. Try to open that particular theme while we talk about the theme on the challenges of research. So what I understand by this particular topic is that internalization process of the scholar need to be dealt very much properly and very much carefully. And we have many problems, as our speakers has mentioned, right from beginning to end. But this particular topic, we have to think that how to nourish, how to make experienced scholars, and how to, find out how to get some of the outcome from a particular research, whichever is thought-provoking, whichever is a practical proposition, and whichever will really root out some of the socio-economic issues of our nation, so that our research, our work will contribute to the overall development of the nation. With this, I conclude this short keynote address here. I am thankful to the organizer, my colleague, Dr. Professor Biswal, Dr. Sai, and Dr. Patnaik here from the Research Forum, all my colleagues and all my scholars, students, for giving me this opportunity to speak a few words. Thank you very much. Thank you, Professor Biswal.
Okay, thank you, sir, for your valuable lectures for our research scholar and students. And now I'm inviting Dr. Sushil Kumar Patnaik, Director of the Research Forum India. Sir, over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir. Screen. এটা বন্ধ করো, এটা বন্ধ করো, এটা আর ওটা খোলা, এটা বন্ধ করো, না এটা রহিব, আরে এটা বন্ধ করো, এটা আর ওটা দেখাইবে না। স্ক্রিন শেয়ার করা গো।
Okay, sir, visible, sir. Pattaya, sir, visible, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you, Professor Vishal. So, thank you for your arrangement and the webinar system. What we have discussed, we are going to discuss on the thing, the challenges in research, and Professor Ahmad sir, everything told in very nicely. And in that session, we have to encourage the student researcher, particularly for their betterment. It is not that they have to make afraid of that what is research. So many challenges will come during that research period, research tenure. So how to overcome it? So this is our objective. So myself, Sushil Kumar Patnaik, who is presently working as the editor-in-chief in JBMCR, and website is there, jbmcr.org, and we encourage the researchers to publish their article because it is a peer-reviewed business research journal. So secondly, it is purely free of cost. No charge is there, so you can publish your articles. Then, in the second, we see every researcher when they find or when they enter to the research, either for MPhil or their doctoral works, they will see I can, I can't, I can, I can't. In between the two concepts, they stay. But I think the question will come, the challenge will come, but ultimate aim is to create a value out of your research, because we are in the optimization way, we have to minimize your time and we have to minimize your cost for the research, because of it is a constant is that we have to complete the research within that certain period and within a particular cost. So optimization technique will be applied in that research also. But in that case, so many challenges comes, but objective is to create the value. So I will not take much more time because of it is a boring topic, what I think, but challenges are there, so that we have to discuss one by one what the challenges are in the research and how to overcome it, so that it will be created in a different platform to create a value. So ultimate objective is not that we are for the sake of the research, we have to take up the research. Suppose we have to study the large industries, large industrial financial performance of the different HR aspect, the marketing aspect. It is absolutely no need of that, because they are that type of company, they can manage themselves because of huge human resources are there, huge investment are there. We have to always think of in the bottom level so that everybody will be helpful and the stakeholders, all the type of stakeholder will be benefited. So before going to this challenges, we have to see there are so many challenges. Out of that, I have mentioned in number one is topic, selection of topic. Topic should be like that so that it will be gainful to all the type of stakeholder in the society. Otherwise, if you go for research, then it is the no need of that research because of it will not create any value. So second challenge comes from data. So in data, we know two types of data are there. What we call it from that primary, and next one is secondary. In primary level, in the case of your pandemic situation, how the data will be collected. We collect the media like the digital media to collect all this data in the primary level. And before that, we have to collect the direct one-to-one by the using of questionnaire. We have to we are in the concept of that, but in the digital time it was changed by emails, by telephonic, by your digital aspect, your social media. You can collect the data. But come to the secondary data. Secondary data always available in your internet or Google or your money control or Investopedia. So many sites are there. From that, we can collect the data on the which you need from the secondary level. Either it is a social, either from the point of social aspect or from the economical aspect. Both data we can collect from these websites or their annual reports or their printed materials. We can collect all this data. Then the third challenge comes on your research design. We have to design in such a way, we have to re-engineering. I use the concept of re-engineering of your design so that it will be much more optimized way you can present it. So the value can be generated out of the integrated factors. That is most important. So in that case, I'll say that in research design, so many aspects are there. We have to discuss one by one, but tools and techniques are there, samples are there, questionnaires are there, your hypothesis will be there, your objectives will be there. So everything we have to correlate to make it a value concept. Our ultimate objective is to make an integrated approach towards value. How the value or the outcome will be generated, not in quantitative term, but in very qualitative term. It should be always presented. So next one, if we'll discuss on the detail on the challenge and topic in both social aspect and economic aspect or business aspect or your management aspect. So I think these are the various sectors on which challenge comes. Number one, I have mentioned challenge on basing of the stakeholders. Either that in that case, I have mentioned society and government, investor, customer, and employees. Is it clearly visible to all? I think it is visible. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then this challenge on the topic, we have to categorize in the stakeholders as society, government, investor, customer, and employee, and as well as all this. So in that case, the ultimate objective is in our research. What is that? How the society will be benefited, how the government will be benefited, how the investor, customer, as well as the employee of the organization will be benefited out of that research. What we are conducting in our various level and your college level. Various institutions are engaged in different types of research. But basic objective is to value best. Number one, education sector. So many challenges are coming in higher education pattern, syllabus pattern, teaching pattern, pedagogy pattern, methodology pattern, your exam pattern. So many challenges are there in that. We have to pick up one challenge and we have to go for research. So like this hospitality and tourism, now we see in the pandemic situation, how the hospital sector and tourism sector is going on in a very bad situation they are facing in that case, how this challenge can be overcome or countered by our research system. Then come to the case of banking. In banking, in the case of from the customer point of view, as well the employee point of view, as the policy point of view, from the merger point of view, service point of view, product point of view, so many types are there. So how the system, entire system will be differently presented to the customer or the investor so that more value can be generated. So in the banking sector, you see the private banking sector is operating in a different mode than your public sector. And if the public sector is operating, then how much the customers are satisfied or the investors are satisfied with the system. So we have to see this first. So we have to take it a challenge and we have to solve it. Then next one is the insurance sector. As like also they are facing so many challenges in customer acquisition, customer retention, and your claim settlement, and policy settlement, all this. So one by one in micro level, we can go for, so that topic, we have to pick up the topic and we have to go for research. So that I think entire research will be a value-based research. Everybody, every stakeholder will be benefited out of that. But we are thinking always how to complete the research in a dynamic mode. Dynamic mode means that just, we know what are the system we base. So we should not follow that. We should follow that if you go for the work or if you invest money, if you invest the time for the 2 years or 3 years, then some result, some output should be, or outcome should be there, so that every stakeholder will be benefited out of our suggestion, out of our findings. So please see this slide. There are so many sectors I have presented: marketing sector, stock market, finance and money market, marketing concept by community based. So presently what is the community based problems are there, that migrant laborers are coming to the different villages. So how their problem will be solved economically and socially. So that is also important in the present challenge. And stress is almost in every case nowadays gradually increasing. So how to minimize the stress with the policy of WLB, that means work-life balance system. So that we have to go for research. So these are the areas. So I think somebody has unmute his mic. Please mute his mic. Please. It is disturbing. So then next one is cash management and liquidity system. So who is, I think, is the most presently it is most important segment of the finance to go for a research, because without cash management we can, our sustainability is a question mark. So liquidity takes the prime role than your fixed asset. So because of some values concept, if you analyze that, liquidity is more important than your fixed asset. So like this, so many challenges comes with your SSG and entrepreneurship level. You from the micro level to upper levels, so many entrepreneurs are there, particularly women entrepreneurs are there. What the challenge they face in that entrepreneurship or SSG. So we have to take up this. So if we select out of that, so many challenges are there in the society. So if in micro level we have to select one topic, then we can proceed one by one, and it should be in a smile mood, not in a hurry mood or noise mode. So that we have to follow certain principles on that, how to make you smile, how to make you wellness. So this is our program. For that, if you will go for the challenge, next challenge comes, if you pick up that topic, then what will be your objective? Your objective should be fixed. Very in micro level, if you study, then your stakeholder, if you will think of the case of stakeholder, how the benefits or the satisfaction comes from the side of the beneficiary. So if they will be satisfied, then your research is, that means it is value based. So you see the objective, if you go for a higher research, then minimum 3 to 5 objective you have to set. And in what will the objective in preference to the case of, suppose I have cited on that, in response to the case of gender. You see, in the case of gender based, suppose in demographic factor, you see so many factors are there: your income level, your gender, domicile, your education pattern, occupational pattern. There are so many factors are there, and you can analyze all this by checking your cross factor wise. So there are so many tools are there. The next thing we have to discuss on that tools. But in that study, in the objective, I have mentioned to study the preference in response to gender in product preference. Suppose I have to study on retail and retail sector there. Suppose what the product differences or product preferences, how it is different from the gender based, from male to female, how it is different, we have to go for a study. So like this, you have to go for domicile. So from city people to, or city customer to your village level or bottom level customer, how they are different, we have to go for a study. So like this, you have to put your hypothesis. It's just an assumption. Like, so I have mentioned in that there is no significant difference. Either it is a significant difference, either it is a not significant difference across the gender. Suppose we think that the two gender type, male and female type, and the responses are mostly similar. But at the last, what it is proved that it is different. So what we think in the previously, our that is called your hypothesis, that it is proved that it is no significant difference, and test is their test justified it. So it is rejected, or to accept, we have to take it in the hypothesis. Then next one is on the tools and techniques. What tools we have to use? Suppose in the garage, you see so many tools are there, but which tool will be most appropriate to open that system? We have to know it. So like this in strategy, so many tools are there, but which tool will be mostly appropriate to your statistics or to your study, we have to take care of. So I think this is most vital and important in all the, for the researcher, and it is a big challenge for all this, because almost they think that they have to use this ANOVA, their correlation, regression, your factor, cross-tab, KMO. Like this, they will tell everything, but really which tool is most appropriate, and how it will be calculated, how it will be justified, and what is his finding, what is his suggestion, that should be critically examined. And before using tools and technique, the next one is your questionnaire. And questionnaire, if you set some questions on that research topic, suppose in a questionnaire 2 to 3 pages minimum you can prepare, because no time availability sufficiently for the respondents to respond all your questions. So you have to prepare within 50 questions, suppose. So 50 questions should be grouped in, suppose in 5 category, 5 groups are there as per your research. And first part will be in the questionnaire, your demographic profile, your name, address, your age, your income, occupation, gender, everything in the first part. Then in the second part, the question will come out. And you have to link the total questions to your the first part, demographic part. Either they are significantly different or it is not significantly different. We have to prove it. But this is the research. So in the questionnaire, if we see the details of the questionnaire, we can see you see this questionnaire like this. Like this, you have to prepare the questionnaire and see this customer relationship management in retail, the challenges, and this is the question. And in the first part, you see respondent profile, age, name, occupation, age, gender, monthly income, educational qualification, domicile. Then in part 2, you see the question comes group wise. Impact assessment in question 9, you see impact assessment of factors in retail mall preference. Suppose there are 5 questions are there in group A, and in B 5 questions are there, in C 7 questions are there, in D 5 questions, and E 8, 9 questions are there. So in group wise, we have mentioned all this to study about the retail sector. So this is the type of question what we ask to the customers in the of the retail. So from where to collect all this data? So this is also important. And how much you have to input that respondents in your research. So that is also a challenge. So this is under your sampling system or sampling design system. So this is just I demonstrated all this questionnaire type, and you can collect from this also. I will send in mail, then no problem on it. Then I think in the questionnaire, these are the challenges, how to set the questions. How to set the questions? First, you think of what are the question will come, what are the question will be on the case of challenges by your customers or your retail employees. You will ask questions to both the group, suppose to the employee of the retail mall and as well as the customer, about their service pattern, about their policy pattern, about their buyback system, either discount structure, about their product system or their demonstration system. So everything you have to set the questions as per the structure of the malls. Then next one is challenge comes on your suggestion. In suggestion, you see, suggestion should be always based on integrated value. What I have mentioned, that integrated value, which will be the value will be benefited to the stakeholder. And if it is not the benefit of the your stakeholders, then entire research is have no value. Entire system go useless. Your total money, time, everything. But your PhD or your MPhil degree will not be stopped, but will be awarded, no problem. But your suggestion should be like this, so that everybody in the society will be, or the stakeholder will be much more benefited out of your research, so that India will be in the prime line. Then next slide is about the data. And what we have discussed all this, primary data, tools as per the requirement, sample as per the suitability of time and number. So in the case of, come to the case of sample. In the sample, you see, in sampling, we have to decide sampling unit. How you have to decide sampling unit? It is also a challenge because of, you see, we are going for a research like the general perception of the customer on the banking system. So in a city, suppose in one city if you take up, then 5 lakh to 10 lakh people are staying in one city. Suppose you have taken one city, but because of your constraint of time and resource, then it is restricted to 500. How it is possible? You have done this within the 500 by taking the sample number, but how it is justified? It is not in our book, or it is not mentioned in the sample system, or it is not in your formula, or not in your mathematics. But you have taken 500 and justified it. But can you prove that 500, that sample behaves properly or equally to the total population? Absolutely, I think there will be much more gap or difference in the system. But we have taken all this because of, what is the challenge? Challenge is the time and resource. So what we have to do in that system, or we have to take up in that system? In that system, in the micro level, we have to go for, suppose particular bank we have to take up. Not that 14, 15 banks or 1000 branches or 500 branches bank in the total system we have to take up. We have to take one bank, suppose HDFC, ICICI or SBI. In SBI, you see 40, 50 bank branches are there. So how will make a study? By limiting your resource, we have to take up all this. So it is also a challenge to take up. Then to sample in this taking of sample number, because so many formula are there, so many statistics are there, and they will instigate that you have to put your formula. But what is the system? I don't know. But everybody use that. But then sampling area, what is justified, that sampling out of the total state, we should not take. We should take particular city, what are the problems of that particular city are facing, that respondents are facing, or the customer are facing, or the investor are facing, or the retail consumers are facing. So particular area we have to take up so that we can go in a micro level and our outcome will be much more valuable and responsive. Okay, so in that case, then next comes the your data and data presentation. If data presentation, you can add this some tools like your graphs, your different types of graphs will be presented, but it should not be the graph. Always you should not prefer, but so in some cases you have to prefer. It is not a challenge, it is very easy to present, so that every researcher present easily for that and acquainted with that system. But we have to use certain tools and technique that is mostly applicable for that research. But in the sake of the research, we always use a regression is there, a factor is there, or KMO is there, and your t-test, z-test, k-test, cluster, everything they will tell, but they don't know. But it is because of it is challenge, they don't know what is the appropriate tool to open that or to use that. But we have to make an analysis on this, so which tool is most appropriately it can be used in your research. So next thing comes your sampling, then in questionnaire, you see in questionnaire question, we have to set the question very small and value based, and question on which question have to be set with the objective based question will be set. The questions have to be grouped, what we have discussed previously. Then group wise with one objective we have to take, and that one hypothesis which will be linked in between objective and hypothesis. What will be our objective? And on the basis of that objective, we have to take the null hypothesis or your hypothesis. Then we have to always take the 5-point Likert scale to evaluate properly. 5-point Likert scale means if the number 1 will be strongly agree, then number 2 will be agree, number 3 will be cannot say, or number 4 will be disagree, number 5 will be strongly disagree. So this is the system. So how it will be coded? It will be coded like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Suppose one respondent responded, I am strongly agree. That means we have to code 1. Strongly disagree, we have to code 5. So like this, and it will be presented in Excel or in SPSS. Then you can calculate your and or use your tools, and you will get your results after coding. So that coding result will be converted by your package. Then question should be at least 10 or more in one group. Question should be 10 or more in one group. It will be easy, or it will be easier for your measurement or calculation to put your tools. So if you less than tool, then some errors will be there. So we should avoid it. You should make at least 10 or more in one group. Suppose there are 5 groups are there: A group, B group, C group, D group, E group. In A group 10 questions, B group 10 questions, like 50 questions will be arranged. So maximum to 50 questions you try to, within that you have to put, so that your result or outcome will be come up with very scientifically way. Then it should be applied very logically and sequentially to focus our goal. So sometimes questions are set very illogically, and it is not in a systematic or sequentially. So you have to put that. So which question will come first, which question will come last. So in that case, nowadays that some tools are there. Your artificial intelligence, you can use your machine language, then is also there. So in Python, we can add up all this, so that suppose we the particularly with the man, we don't know which question will come first, which will be last. So that machine will automatically detect which will come first and which will come last. So by the using of the machine language and your artificial intelligence, so you can use that. Then next is about the tools which is generally used in your particular research. You see, in this research that you know the 5-point Likert scale is there, and suppose there one tool is chi-square and one tool is cross tabulation 2 ways. So these are the various general tools what we use in your particular research to come up with a value. Then third one is ANOVA, fourth one is correlation, fifth is state test, Z-test, regression, then next one is factor, then graph, line, bar chart, different charts are there. So generally we, before that research, we have to calculate that mean, median, mode, geometric mean, your harmonic mean, your then your standard deviation, variance, then your skewness in some cases. So many statistical tools are there. Generally it was previously used, but later on for the better outcome, better value, we have to come up with the next stage with the use of your chi-square. You know what is the observed and expected difference can be counted with that. And in cross tabulation 2 ways means, I'll show you now how it is presented in this. You see, this is the case. This is the case of the cross tab of occupation level and gender. You see how it is calculated. In this occupation, these are the various occupations. These are the various occupations. Okay. And respondents are there and percentage level is there, and it is the percentage. In row wise it is categorized, and male is 142, female is 40, and total is 182 in this group of students. So in like this, in self-employed 77 are male and 30 are female. So like this it is grouped. At the end, in this last, you see chi-square is that by taking your row and column and significance values we have to mention, so that we know that either it is wildly different or significantly different or not in between the row and columns, between the observed and your expected. Suppose 5 groups are there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups are there. Suppose one should be within 20%, but here it is 22%, it is 28%. So like this, it is some difference are there. But this type of measurement is under your cross tabulation. So what is the benefit in that? In that benefit, you can say that professional category 70% are male and 25% are female. Whereas in student category 140 are male and 80 are females. So who is the lowest in number? Lowest in number is here 30. 30 means employee. Employee respondents are 25 are under male and 5 are female. So in your research, which group is most dominating group? Your dominating group means here is this one. This group is your very dominating. You see the group. Because of one, it is 182. Then second dominating group is your self-employed persons. And third one is your housewives. So these are the various dominating. Because of out of 487 customers, and that 3 combines, I think 300 and more. 300 and more. That means nearly 60-70%, 70-75% persons are in that group. So they dominate entire research work. Whatever their responses will come, that means it indicated these three groups dominate all this. So if they will be changed, then your output will be changed or the responses will be changed. Or your suggestion will be to whom? Not to this group, because of they dominate the market. Okay, so like this we have to use the cross analysis. Then next one is your factor analysis. You sometimes know that we have to use factor analysis from all the group factors. Before going to the group factors, we have to use your KMO test for your sampling adequacy. And here you see that is 896. That means 896 means 0.8 greater than this indicates sample are mostly adequately reliable, so that you can proceed further. Okay. Then next one is, next table is commonalities. Commonalities, three tables will come up. One is commonalities, and number two you see variance, and number three is matrix. Number three is component matrix. And in that case, I am just telling you in a very brief manner, yeah, what is this actually? In this case, in the first step, this table name is commonalities. In commonality, you see the values are like this, and it is above 5, above 0.5, above 0.5. That indicate your data is very reliable and you can proceed further. Then in variance table, you see here, variance table, you see the data, two data are 1 and 2 component, that combines your 61%. That means out of your 5 inputs, 5 inputs are there, 5 factors, and out of that 2 factors are most significant. 2 factors are most significant. So that your variance table is explaining on all that. And third table, that is most important, that is matrix table. In that you see that 2 factors are important. Which 2 factors are important? Now you see that yellow color is 0.686 in the first column, and D4 that is 0.610. And these two are positive and of higher value, means that indicated that 2 components or D3 and D4 are most significant to your cause. What is your cause? Cause is your pricing, and on the pricing you mentioned in the 2 factors, that is D3 and D4 are most significant on these out of the 5. So there is no need of to calculate further. Okay. It is all about your factor analysis. Then third one is all about the correlation. If you apply this, the table will come like this. So this type of table will come up, and now you can also delete this. You can delete this because it is bivariate. In the left side, what is that? In the upper level, what I have deleted is equivalent to the lower level. So it is not required to mention on the upper level. So come to the second level. So if the satisfaction will be 1, then this will be the proportion. This will be the percentage of relation. That means how much they are related. It is the percentage of relation. Okay. So we can calculate out of that. That means 1 means if it will be satisfaction will be 100%, then 60.0 means 6.2% is the satisfaction on A1. So like this we can calculate, and A3 the satisfaction is more, that is 75.8%. Okay, so it is significant. So like this you can calculate all this type of tools and technique. And the fourth one, you see, it is very interesting, ANOVA. Why it is used? It is used to make a difference. It is used to make a difference. Suppose I have to study the occupational level difference exists or not. Because what is your hypothesis? There is no significant difference across the occupational group. And in the first table, I have mentioned that 5 occupational levels are there. And in that 5 levels are equal or unequal, or significantly different or significantly not different, we can calculate by using your ANOVA. And ANOVA, you see the result, only the result, significant result is 0.374. That means your, what is the test result? 374 indicate that it is significantly indifferent. That means similar. When it will be different? If it will be less than 0.05. If it will be less than 0.05, then you will say it is significantly different. That means all the groups, what we have taken there, what are the groups? Student level is there, your housewife was there, and your professional there, businessman there. So these are the 5 groups were there, and they are purely different or strongly different with each other. But that result show 374 means it is more than 0.05, means it is significantly indifferent. When it will be different? It will be different when it will be 0.2, suppose. It will be 0.2 or 0.1 or 0.4, like this, below 0.05. So these are the various tools, general tools, what we used in our research. And I think some extent you will now you can solve your problems or solve your challenges. So these are the tools what I mentioned. The tools why I use chi-square I mentioned to test the significant difference, like that ANOVA, regression, factor, correlation, crosstab, everything mentioned. Then the last part, when we cover up, then we have used tools, we have used objective, we have used hypothesis, we have scope, relevance, statement, problem, literature review, and your about the concern or about the subject, everything we have used. But a great challenge is coming, that is either these are benefited to the society or to the government or to the community. What thing we are discussing in the first part, to stakeholder, to employees. Every time we'll think of that either somebody is benefited out of my research or not. If it is not that, then you change your topic, because I strongly recommend, if nobody is benefited out of your research, then you should not enter in that, either in your writing in an article or writing a research paper. So I think some thing we have crossed, and we have taken the challenges to solve, and it may create certain clues, or it will benefit to the research scholars, what I think. And our Professor Vishal now can explain better way. So thank you all.
Okay, thank you, sir, for your valuable lecture for our scholar and students. I know the learning is a continuous process. Then we will learn something. Also, student will get benefit about your by your lectures, either a different technical test or different research test. Okay, our next research person, our beloved Deputy Registrar in Charge, Dr. S.C. Subudhi, Associate Professor, Department of Education, our Nehu Tura campus. Sir, hand over to you, sir. Subudhi, sir.
Thank you, sir Vishal. Good morning, everybody. I see also Professor Ahmed is there. Then Sir Patnaik just before gave a valuable talk on this topic, as well as Dr. Sai Prasann, which I saw this photo here. Okay, good morning, everybody, all the participants as well as research person. Thank you, Professor Vishal, that you gave me this opportunity to speak something on your topic. Though I'm not from your discipline. I'm totally a different discipline. But I'll try my best to reach at your expectation that you gave me the topic, that is the challenges in the research. Before actually beginning, I did not join due to some problem, but I joined in between when Professor Ahmed gave his valuable speech, that one. Then after that, I also heard all those things whatever Professor Patnaik has delivered. That challenges, when we are talking about the challenges, though Sir Ahmed and Sir Patnaik has already given so many points, but which come to my mind that I just want to share. It may not be in the perspective of books or the literature, but it is in the perspective of the experience and which we used to face in our day-to-day life. One thing is, before going to discuss the challenges, then we have to know that what do you mean by research. Though it has explained in different books, people have given their different views. I do not want to discuss all those things. But whenever we are thinking research in perspective of a researcher, nowadays, which is the reality, the good things it has given in the books, and teachers they used to teach. But which is in the practice, that nowadays research, we can say, which used to be decided by the supervisor, formulated, changed, and many more things, addition, omission, commission, everything by the team members or experts. But I beg to differ with all those things. Why? Because no, whenever the point is coming to the researcher's mind, as per their ability, as per the suggestions of the experts or their supervisor, all those things, they try to formulate one topic, one total synopsis to do the work. Okay, the experts, they used to suggest so many things, but many times they used to force the researcher to change the topic, even if they don't believe on the rationality, on the basis of that the researcher has selected the topic or the identified the topic. It is come to my mind that mainly the experts or the people, those who used to give that type of suggestion, perhaps they do not know that, or they might have the lack of information that the topic has been identified or topic has been selected. Because this is the question. And many of the researchers, if you ask, even if the senior most professors also, they may not able to give the satisfactory reply that either the topic should be identified or the topic should be selected. If selected, suppose we are going to bazaar, we want to purchase some like the suppose the we can say the tomato sauce. That variety brands are there. So out of variety brands we can select. So can we say that topics are available in the market, everything that researcher immediately they to select? But many times the people they used to say topics should be selected, and this is one challenge. Why? Because they do not have that much patience to listen the researchers' point of view. They do not have that much courage to encourage the researchers, because they used to say that topics should be selected. But my point is that if the topic is available everywhere in the bazaar, then why should you go for the review? Why should you link with the theory? Why do you think that we should go to grounded it? That's the question. That's why the topics should be selected or identified. Just you think about it. But my point is that maximum the researcher, when they used to select a topic or identify a topic or the prepare a topic, they used to go with the literature. They used to discuss with the experts. They used to find out the research gaps. They used to see all those points where they can satisfy, they can justify. On the basis of that justification, they used to identify. Okay, they used to identify. They never select the topic because there is not available, topics are not available, problems are available. And that problems they can club together. And whenever they are clubbing, that means they have to see the link. It is the linear link or it is the branching link. If it is the ICT, they used to go with the branching link. If it is the education sector, they used to go with the branching link. But if it is in the applied field, they used to go with the linear. Simple example I am sharing here to my listeners. Suppose we are putting the fish. I am a fish farmer. I am just farming the fish. At the beginning stage, when the fish size is very small, whatever medicine, food I give to all those fish, no, can I use the same medicine, same foods, everything when the fish size will be half kilo, 1 kilo, 2 kilo? Never. It is to change. That's why in that case, our selection, our identification, everything it will go as per the need requirement. The same thing also, whenever the researcher they are identifying the problem, and that problem may be related, and whenever they will club all those problems, then they may get a bigger problem which can be researchable. Because many problems, if the ready-made answers are available, people are satisfied. They do not need any more, or they do not need any substitute. Then I think there is no need of the research. Can we go further research with the law of gravitation? Because it is already established. It is already accepted as a theory. So whenever we are discussing all those things, then we should tell that either you are selecting a research topic or you are identifying. That is also most challenge, because beginning, always the beginning is the most important. Okay, so that's why we have to see. That is first the topic. Then coming to the topic, whenever we are in the topic, whenever we are thinking that all the variables or other relative terms in the topic name, that time also we have to see how much it's linked with the product and how much it needs to how much it will fulfill the demand of the market. Because for the sake of the research, for the sake of the degree, we can do anything. But if we are going to the market oriented, then we have to see how much, where it should be, and how much it will be. After doing research, after 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, or 10 years, if our result will be not useful, if the market will if market will reject all those things, then where will be our position? What is the value of our time, money, everything? That's why that things we have to take care of beginning, at the very much beginning. Okay, so that is my personal perspective. All of the researcher, just to think over it, that is. Then another point, whenever we are discussing the research challenges, at the same time on the topic, because in the many research bodies, whenever I used to attend, the senior most people, they used to grab that one. They want to forcefully put something on the researchers or on the supervisors. Many times also I used to fight with them. On what basis? Do you think that research topic, whatever is coming in the senior's mind, it is within the inverted commas? Never. There is no punctuation. It is open end. So why should we believe on them? We should befit. We should give them proper reply, that either they should accept us or they can give the proper things, instead of the forcing the researcher do these things, do that thing, and at the halfway or at the end of the research, then research will be nowhere, because that is their thought of perspective. So that is the beginning. That is the challenge. Present challenge is that one. Because many research institutions, they used to forcefully input in the researcher's mind that do this thing, do that thing, without any logic. If you ask the question, then they may not agree with you. That is the things. Then another point, at the researcher, whenever they will go to the review of the research, many research studies, the researcher, when that is also challenged, because now earlier people used to study the books, study the thesis, study other research reports. But nowadays, many things, maximum things are available at the fingertips. Either you can go use your laptop or smartphone, anything. Okay, so you can get it. But whenever you are collecting that things, that in which way any research topic or research findings is related with your topic, and how much it satisfies, and in which way it will contribute towards your research. That also we have to take care, because that is also information collection is not enough. Information organization, information linked with the topics, it is most important. That is also very much challenging, because the researcher many times they do not know what shall. If the words are related with that topic, then they think that okay, it's okay, I can collect this one, I can put in my research review. But they do not know that what is that topic, that the particular word might be related with your topic, but that word in which way they have done the research, that is related with your topic or it is something else. So that should be taken care whenever we are going with the review. And at that time, whenever we are deciding the review with the design, that design, it used to go with the objectives. Many research, either it is the objectives or the research questions. Because hypothesis is not necessary. Sometimes if it is satisfied, we have sufficient rationales, then we can go with the research hypothesis. If you don't have or the quantitative form, we can go with the null hypothesis. Doesn't matter, but the objective is must. Or if not objectives, if it is a qualitative, then research question is must. But many qualitative research I have seen that simply they have to think that relation, analysis. But what is the best? Where do they have brought all those ideas? Do they consult with any theory? Do they relate with any theory? If there is no theory, did they go with the grounded theory? Nothing. Nothing. Simply with one imagination or thought, they used to see. I am giving many examples. One example I am just giving, sharing, that Golden with the Shakespeare's novel. Okay. How can we interpret it? That is one perspective of somebody's thought. But in which way it relates with which theory? Because always theory relates with the future application. Theory gives concrete information. Theory leads the future sustainability. But we used to forget all those things. Simply whatever is coming, we used to go with that, like the action research. Immediate problem, immediate solution. But can it be? That's why. Because many problem is there, but all the problem, can we consider it is the research problem? So question is that. That's why whenever we are thinking, my point is that we have to take care of all those things. Even if it is not 100%, at least few percentage, it will helpful, it will enrich the research work. My point is that one. Another point, whenever we are selecting the design, whenever we are formulating the objectives, okay, entire problem, we are making it chop, means piece, or the smaller portion of that entire problem. Then all those problems, small problem, when we are finding the result, we are clubbing all together, then we are getting the bigger solution to the bigger problem. That's good. But whenever we are dividing, before that, if we will justify why we want to study that one, either with the delimitation or with some postulations, then I think it will better. But many synopses which I have seen within my purview, that hardly any researcher, they used to go with the postulate or they used to go with the logic. Simply for the sake of formulation of objective, they used to formulate the objectives. For the sake of the formulation of hypothesis, they used to formulate the hypothesis. My question is that, so can it be, really it will lead the research work? So that's why, please sir, class, please. That's why it used to go with that. So whenever we are discussing these things, so we can say, no, this collection of research and that in which we have to organize, that is also the challenge. Because many researchers, they used to do the research without any formulation, without any organization of the research, review or the literature. So that literature organization is most important because it will show the direction, it will find out the gaps, it used to show how to formulate and in which way we can formulate the design, and in which way we can select the sample, and in which way we can rationalize our population, all those points. Coming to that one, then whenever we are formulating all those things in the design, either it is qualitative or quantitative, we have to give the logic. Simple example I am sharing. Suppose many times we are formulating the objectives or else the hypothesis, and which qualify the quantitative analysis. Just you say it needs to find out the differences. So many times whenever we used to see the differences, people used to use the t-test, people used to use the ANOVA or any other statistical technique. But just you see, in which case we should use the ANOVA, in which case we should use the t-test, there are some rationales are there. There are some assumptions are there. So if the data fulfills all those assumptions, then certainly you can use the ANOVA. So how many researchers they used to establish the all those that data fulfills their assumption? Hardly. Why? The problem is selection. The problem is organization. At there, our problem is there. So whenever it is coming, it is not fulfilling. Simply we are using, okay, I want to see the differences. Let me use the t-test, or let me use the ANOVA. But have you fulfilled the normality? Have you fulfilled the randomness? Have you fulfilled the homogeneity? Have you calculated homogeneity through the goodness fit? Either chi-square test of goodness fit or case test of goodness fit. Whenever we are talking about the chi-square, can you use it is the normality or equality or independence in which group? So many questions in all those, if the quantitative. If it is qualitative, then in which way? Because qualitative, it must relate with the theory. Or if theory is not there, then with the practice, the researcher should develop some grounded theory, formulate some grounded theory. How many researchers they used to formulate the grounded theory? Question is that one. So all those are challenge, because if we will not fulfill all those things, whatever will come out from our research work, perhaps it will be less acceptable, it will be less applicable, and it will just go to the dustbin, nowhere its place. That's why this is for the we can say that is for the data organizations or analysis. Okay, so in that case, if we'll go with the same thing, decision about the tool. Okay, we can say, because main parts I want to discuss that whenever we are saying I want to collect the information through the tool. Okay, either we can say it is a test, or it is a scale, or it is the inventory, or it is the experiment. Okay, either scale or test or inventory or experiment. If it is test, then are you going to collect the memory level information like mathematics, like historical events? All informations are there. So if you are going to collect such information, that is the memory level. But if you are going to collect the market behavior, consumers behavior, can it be memory level? It is variation, opinion change one after another moment. So you can go with the scale value, how much. But in which case scale can be used? Many researchers, they used to do such type of mistake, which we should control all those things. In which case we can go for the inventory. Suppose new things, new dimensions, new points are coming. So what is the reactions of the consumer? What is the reactions of the public? And with that reactions, how much positive and how much negative? What will be gain and what will be loss? So all those profit loss, because you all are the management people, you know that. And we have to see that one. Okay, so tool development, whenever we are selecting the tool or developing the tool, at there, at least we should go with the 3D, means DQ. That is the
I think Pala sir,
Dr. Shubudhi got disconnected, it seems.
then you connect your
Biswalji, Professor Biswal.
Sir, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, he got disconnected, it seems.
Okay, okay, sir.
You may call Honorable PPC.
Sir, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Or shall I call Dr. Shubudhi?
I'm calling the PV, sir.
Okay. Please.
राव सर, आपका इसका व्हाट्सएप नंबर है, दैट इज
Point ଲାଗୁଛି ବସୁନି।
Biswal ji,
Yes, sir.
yeah, what happened? Are you calling anyone?
Sir, I am calling PVC.
Okay, okay.
Morning onwards, I am
Singh sir is joined already, na?
सर बोला था ज्वाइन हो गया, फिर क्या इसका मोबाइल क्या प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है, बोलो सर।
Let me try in his number.
ओके सर।
Oh, then are you trying, because now your lecture? Acha, if you can. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. विश्वाल जी,
यस सर।
is telling Shashi Kumar का मोबाइल से कोशिश करेगा। Shashi Kumar is there. Where is Shashi? Shashi's number is there with you.
सर हम दे रहे हैं इसको, अभी पहले ना देना था, अभी क्या शशि को दे दिया सर।
अच्छा,
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, Dr. Shubhudi ji.
Hello. May I audible?
Yeah, yeah, we are hearing your voice. Please, you continue.
Hello. Can I continue?
Yeah, Dr. Shubhudi, you can continue, please.
Hello.
Yes, sir. You continue.
Yeah, please continue.
Continue, Subodh sir.
Okay. Thank you. हाँ sir. विशाल sir जी.
Yes, sir, continue, sir. Already I informed the PV, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, he will join. Okay, no problem. Subodh sir, is it audible?
Sir. हाँ विश्वास जी फिर again Dr. Shubhudi got disconnected.
This network problem, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
What to do now? PBC sir will be speaking or he also got disconnected or what? Or shall we close?
Just we will wait for 5 more minutes, sir.
नींद आ रहा
खाना खाने के बाद सोएगा सर, अभी मत सोइए.
সেটা কিছু টাইপ কর না। আচ্ছা
विश्वाल जी और सर विश्वाल जी Dr. Rao give the vote of thanks. Yeah, Singaya sir also cannot connect just now. He called me. Yes, sir. So, Dr. Rao give the vote of
Yes,
thanks.
sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Very good afternoon to all of you. Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor Professor G. Singhaiya, Nehutra Campus. Keynote speaker Professor J. Ahmad, former head Department of Management, Nehutra Campus. Resource persons Dr. S. A. Subudhi, Deputy Registrar in Charge and Associate Professor, Department of Education, Nehutra Campus. And Dr. Sushil Kumar Patnaik, Chief Editor, Journal of Business Management, Commerce and Research. Moderator Dr. V. Sai Prasad, Associate Professor, Avanti Institute of Engineering and Technology, Department of Business Administration, Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh. Research Forum India. Head of the department, Professor K.C. Biswal, respected my dear colleagues, other faculty members, dear participants, research scholars and students. Good afternoon to all of you. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. I would like to acknowledge my gratitude to the keynote speaker, Professor J.U. Ahmad, former head Department of Management, Nehru Tara campus, who always encouraged us and encourages the research scholar students to listen and read different experts' views on research methods in different subjects. Sir, you highlighted the research challenges, core capabilities, and you suggested to need to build critical thinking. We are greatly encouraged by your inspiring address. Thank you, sir. And I wish to express our profuse thanks to our resource persons, Dr. Sushil Kumar Patnaik, Chief Editor, Journal of Business Management Commerce, who has emphasized to create value out of the research and highlighted the challenges at topic formation, at research design, questionnaire preparation, data collection, and explained different tools, where to use and how to use at the time of analysis. On behalf of the Department of Management, I record our deep sense of appreciation and gratitude to you, sir. I express our profuse thanks to Dr. S. Subudhi, Deputy Registrar in Charge, who has thrown light on topics identification and topic selection and linear thinking and branch thinking, relevance of research, and here highlighted some aspects related to qualitative and quantitative aspects, and need of and cross-checking of normality and development of ground theory. On behalf of the Department of Management, I express my sincere thanks to you, sir. My sincere thanks to Dr. V. Sai Prasant, Associate Professor, Avanti Institute of Engineering and Technology, Department of Business Administration, Visakhapatnam, who given technical support to make this program happen in a nice manner. Thank you, sir. I express my deep sense of appreciation to Professor K.C. Biswal, head of the department, who has been the driving force behind this webinar concept on the the challenge on research. Thank you, sir. Biswal, sir. On behalf of the department,
Okay.
my sincere thanks to the faculty members, my department faculty members, Dr. Abhignan Bhattacharjee, Dr. Deepak, and other faculty members, and faculty members from other departments. Thank you very much. And I express my sincere thanks to all the scholars and students who have joined virtually from different places and made this webinar very successful. Thank you all once again. And I express my sincere thanks to our Pro Vice Chancellor in absence here. Because of the technical problem, he is not able to join. And who is the who is known for his passion for critical thinking and thought-provoking, and always encouraging faculties and research scholars to think critical and study different aspects in different perspectives, point of view. And thank you very much, sir, for your support. And once again, thank you all. Thank you, sir. Over to you, this one, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Rao, and thank you all of you, particularly Professor G. Singhaiah, Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, absence here, and keynote speaker, Professor J.U. Ahmad, my colleague, Dr. S.C. Subudhi, Deputy Registrar in Charge, Associate Professor, Department Education, Nehru Tara Campus, particularly Dr. Sushil Kumar Patnaik, Chief Editor, Journal of Business Management and Commerce and Research, and a Director Research Forum India, New Delhi, also given one platform for us, just like a Research Forum India, how the research will develop in country as well as with the student community. Sir, thank you so much for your valuable time, for your valuable lectures.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Given one platform, then in the future you will continue this type of organization. How the student will get some benefit in the research. Similarly, Dr. Rao, my colleague. Similarly, Professor Jehu Ahmad, my colleague, also given keynote speaker. Sir, for your valuable lectures and a given keynote as a keynote speech in this subject. Thank you, sir.
Thank you
So much.
Okay.
And Dr. Sai Prasad,
Thank you.
also you are last 2 hours here with us. Thank you, Dr. Sai Prasad, Dr. Rao, Dr. Bhattacharjee, and Dr. Subudhi, and Dr. Sultana, and Dr. Bhagat, Dr. Devanath, and Sunil, and all my colleagues, and all my dear research scholar, and dear students, friends, and dear all participants from here and there, and Dr. Subudhi sir here, sir. Thank you, sir, so much for your valuable speech, sir, and given